Chapter 2. Loss of identity inside the relationship. This one is incredibly powerful and very quiet. It doesn't come from unhappiness, it comes from slow self-erasure, and the person often looks like a very devoted partner from the outside. What loss of identity really means. Over the years, a person can slowly become someone's spouse, someone's parent, someone's provider, someone's support system, and stop being a separate, interesting, autonomous individual. They don't feel mistreated, they feel absorbed. Like their personality, desires, quirks, interests, and spontaneity have faded into the background of responsibilities. They start having thoughts like, I don't even know who I am outside this life. I used to be more fun/creative/alive. I feel like I disappeared somewhere along the way. This is not a relationship problem. It's an identity problem happening inside the relationship. Why does this create vulnerability to an affair? Because when someone new meets them, that person doesn't see a spouse, a parent, a role. They see a person and they treat them like one. They ask about opinions, passions, stories, dreams, humor, personality, and the person feels something shocking. I remember this version of me. That feeling is intoxicating, not because of attraction, because of recognition of a lost self, the dangerous misinterpretation. They don't think, I'm missing myself. They think, I feel more like myself with this person than with my partner. So they incorrectly conclude, maybe I'm with the wrong partner. But the partner isn't the problem. The lost identity is. Mark and Olivia, married 14 years. Mark is a great husband and father, but over the years his life became work, providing, fixing things, helping kids, being reliable. He used to be playful, into music, social, creative, and funny. Those parts slowly faded because life got serious. Olivia loves him deeply, but their conversations are about kids, schedules, responsibilities, practical things. She hasn't seen that playful side of him in years, not because she wouldn't like it, but because it quietly disappeared. Mark doesn't even realize it's gone. He just feels vaguely flat inside. At a conference, he meets someone. She talks to him like this, laughs at his jokes, asks about his interests, talks about music, engages with him like he's interesting, not responsible. He finds himself being funny again, animated, expressive. He feels alive in a way he hasn't in years. He thinks, I haven't felt like this in so long. This is the hook. What's really happening? She is not giving him something new. She is reflecting parts of himself that his current life no longer activates. But he mistakes that for a connection with her. The emotional shift. He starts looking forward to talking to her because I like who I am when I'm around her. That's the critical sentence in identity-based affairs. Not, I like her, but I like me. Why does this turn into an affair? Because being around her feels like stepping back into his old self, and going home feels like stepping back into the role self. He begins associating. Her equals freedom, personality, aliveness. Home equals responsibility, dullness, obligation. That's when emotional attachment forms. The tragic irony. Olivia would love to see that version of Mark again. She didn't take it from him. Life did. Routine did. Responsibility did. But instead of rediscovering himself inside the marriage, he rediscovers himself outside it. The core psychological truth. Identity starvation is extremely powerful. When someone feels they've lost themselves, the first person who reflects their old self to them can feel like a soulmate. But they're not in love with the person. They're in love with the version of themselves that reappears. Why is this preventable? Couples who avoid this make space for individual hobbies, personality expression, playfulness, time as individuals, not just roles, seeing each other as people, not functions. They protect each other's identities, not just the relationship, because when identity disappears, vulnerability appears.